Okay guys, today I'm going to really be talking about the book that really got me into the fantasy genre in general. Like not just fantasy books, but fantasy movies, fantasy TV series. This was the thing. And that book is called The Lightning Thief. Now it's the first book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series. So what's the premise for this book? So basically, this one kid named Percy figures out that he is a demigod, the son of a god and a human. More specifically, he's the son of Poseidon. And he goes to a camp full of demigods. And then, when things start to go wrong, he has to go to quest to Hades, or Tartarus in hell, to save everything. So, what I really love about this book is it's very accessible, and it's very fun to read. I mean, it doesn't take itself too seriously yet. Like, later in the series, it does. But the first book is it stands on its own. You don't need the rest of the series, even though it does hint at future things to come. Also, the characters in this book are very enjoyable. Percy's a very enjoyable character. Grover and Annabeth are his two friends. You just love spending time with these characters as you're reading the book. Now, what this book really does well is, if you actually know Greek mythology, that makes the book even better. So, basically in the book, each chapter is its own kind of story in Percy's quest, and each chapter focuses on some other mythological being, like god or monster, and it's fun to see how these monsters translate into the modern world, and that's what makes the book so clever, that you're constantly interested, like, oh, what monster are they going to bring up next, what mythological thing are they going to bring up next, and how are they going to translate it. So you're constantly curious about it, because it is so clever and it's so funny about it, that it keeps you invested the whole time. Now, if there has to be one problem with the first book, it's probably that, A, as I said, even though it is very solitary, that makes it easier to get into, it doesn't amount to as much of a series. Again, it's much more of a solo adventure. Even though it does build up some of the future books, it doesn't have this huge epic factor that some other fantasy series might have. And also, compared to other young adult books like Harry Potter, at least in the beginning, Percy Jackson is very much more childlike. Like, as I said, there's no epic quality, it takes itself really lighthearted. For the most part that works, but every once in a while it takes itself a little too lighthearted. And you just don't take it that seriously. But other than that, it's a really enjoyable read, and it really is a fun way to spend your time if you actually like reading. So I definitely suggest the Percy Jackson series if you haven't already. Read it, it's good.